programs do not get you what you want in your love life. I'm mostly going to be talking to women here because this is an issue that I've noticed with women far, far, far more than men, is women who have spent a lot of money on coaching programs, right? Usually around healing, around love, around relationships, dating, a lot of healing, a lot of deep inner work stuff. Some women who've spent tens of thousands of dollars on these programs. And I encounter these women a lot, right? On my breakthrough calls, a lot of my clients, just women that I'm talking to in my free group. And it's a really interesting pattern, right? Because women are like, I've spent all this money, right? I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars. I've done all these coaching programs, and I still am not having a dream relationship. Like something is missing, right? What's missing is that you're not, okay, polarity is the deepest healing work you can do. Okay. Now, on a surface level, you know, if we're looking at surface level behaviors, right? We're looking at a woman who's, you know, in her heart, you know, she's able to be vulnerable. She's not controlling anything. She's not leading. She's not blaming, all that kind of stuff, right? But there's also a much deeper level to it, right? Underneath the surface, what's actually gone on is a really deep level change where a woman has let go of her masculine safety, right? And she's living in her heart. She's living through her feminine essence, and gone all the way with that healing, right? Done all of the healing in her heart, all of the trauma, everything that is creating those control tendencies, those blame tendencies, those inhibition tendencies, right? Where a woman is guarded, she holds her, you know, hides her heart in some kind of way. And so when I talk to these women, right, that have done all of these programs, a lot of them have gotten to a point of kind of being desperate, and I can understand it, right? Because, you know, I can imagine having done all this work, spent thousands or tens of thousands of dollars on all this healing, and it's a program after program after program, and it's still not giving the results that they want, right? Which is to be fully in her radiance, but, you know, ultimately the external thing is having a dream relationship with a man, being able to inspire a man effortlessly, right? Without having to control anything, you know, just being loved the way that she needs, being cherished, being cared for, being protected, just having men step up for her so easily, wanting to claim her, wanting to be with her, where relationship gets more polarized over time, right? Where she can just increasingly let go of control, where she can just, you know, just stay in her heart and not have to be analyzing or controlling or planning or, you know, doing any of that stuff. And her needs are just all getting met, right? And so it can be frustrating and also just, you know, at some point, I think women start losing trust, losing hope, where it's like, well, I've done all these programs already. And it's not that these programs aren't doing anything, right? It's a range. We're talking about a range. Some programs are shit, right? Just total waste of money. Some programs offer, you know, a puzzle piece or two. Some programs are quite transformational, but, you know, it's still not getting what a woman ultimately wants, which is that ability to effortlessly inspire men, where she can just fully let go, right? But they're all missing the deeper, bigger shift, which is the full polarization as a woman, right? And so this is why I call it the self-improvement hamster wheel, right? Where it's like women spend years or usually often decades in this self-improvement cycle. Oh, the other thing I didn't mention is a lot of these programs are actually subtly masculinizing women, right? That's actually a really big, that's probably the biggest problem, because it's, and I could do another video just on this, because it's Well, it can be subtle. I mean, it's not subtle to me, but it can be subtle to a woman where she doesn't have the full understanding of what's happening, and she's being coached by typically women who are also masculinized, right? And so she has an incomplete map. She's going kind of in the wrong direction, or at least not going full deep into the direction that she needs to go, right? So women are on this self-improvement hamster wheel for years, decades. They've spent all this money. A lot of them have accrued a lot of debt. And it's been like this major focus of their life, right? And then it's like, oh, the academy, right? So the academy is the program that I run for men and women. It's like, oh, it's like another program. Like, is this really going to solve my problem? You know, I've tried so many things, and, you know, I've gotten these puzzle pieces and I made these shifts, but, you know, I'm still alone, or I'm still in this dysfunctional relationship. Yeah, well, of course you are. One, because you're being taught by people who haven't, you know, they're not embodied themselves. And two, you know, it's programs that are not fully experiential, right? So you can't make all those experiential shifts moving through all those fears in the program. And then third, they're just not targeted on the deepest healing work that you need, right? The full polarization of self, a man fully stepping into his dominance and leading everything, right? And fully taking control, and a woman opening herself up into her vulnerable radiance and fully letting go of control, and being able to operate on faith that she will receive everything that she needs without trying to control to make it happen, right? And that is why the academy is so different, and it is so powerfully transformational, because we've got all three of those things, right? Fully embodied coaches, first of all, we're focused on the deepest work of polarization, right? Nothing super. I mean, there is superficial changes, but it requires the deeper changes for it actually to work. And the entire program is experiential, right? We're focused on helping you move through all your fears in the program, right? Not like moving into feelings. Sure, I mean, that's a really big part of it, is being able to feel everything, all the shame and everything that comes up. But this is the genius of, I'm not saying I'm a genius, I'm saying the universe is a genius, God is a genius, however you want to say it, because you can do all this deep inner healing work alone, right? You do lots of your crying and moving inward, and, you know, finding your shadows and blah blah blah. But the true, unbelievably rapid transformational work is when you shift your external behaviors, right? Because it's your external behaviors and the reflection that you're getting from people, like from a man, that is basically showing you where you're at. So I don't care if you've done $100,000 worth of programs. If you can't effortlessly inspire men to devote to you in the long term, then so what? Like, you know, it's like getting a life coaching degree. Like, so what? You know, what does that mean, right? I care about results, and you may have gotten some results from your program, being happier, being whatever, but can you effortlessly inspire the devotion from men, right? Because that's the proof in the pudding. Proof in the pudding that you've done all of the deep work that you need to do, right? And so our focus is we help you shift all of your external behaviors, right? Letting go of control, right? In this course container, right? Where you're being led by three men who are devoted to you, letting go of all control, you know, just moving into all of your triggers and fully feeling everything, exposing your heart and sharing yourself vulnerably, whatever comes up, right? And letting go of any blame, any stories, any manipulation, just fully being in it. I mean, it might seem easy to some people when I say it, but then try doing it and see what happens. It's a completely different thing. This will move you through all of your fears and discomfort and bring all of this trauma up to the surface, right? So you're doing that in a course container, not like in texting, but like actually on video, right? Actually on live stream for other people to see. And you know, it's one of the things I always advertise about this program is, yeah, we're going to scare the shit out of you, right? If you're not willing to have the shit scared out of you, then you're not right for this work. You're going to stay somewhat androgynous and not get everything that you want, because the only way to get what you want is through the fear. So we provide those opportunities for you to move you through all the fear lovingly, but you know, with like firm support at the same time. Like, yeah, you're going to do it, and and then of course doing role plays, right, where it's the same thing. You're breaking these old patterns, and what you'll see on these role plays that are live streamed is all the ways you're still trying to hold on to control, right? Because your communication says so much about you. It says so much about your beliefs. It says so much about what has not been fully integrated yet, right? So it's the communication, it's the words, and then it's also the energy behind the words. So we see that really easily, even though, you know, it's not a real life situation. You're going to be communicating in a similar way, right? Because you haven't learned to fully just let go of control. You haven't learned to fully heal all of this stuff. And then we actually have real men, like our clients, our male clients who are working on stepping up into their dominance. They are going to be leading calls with you, role play calls, where they're leading the entire call. So you're learning to let go of control, even with a man who hasn't fully stepped into his dominance yet, right? They're working on it and they care about it, but they're not there yet. And that's where a lot of women go astray, right? Because it's like this weird, this weird fairy tale romance of like, oh, like I can totally submit and be feminine. Like once like the right man comes along, like this really dominant man, guess what? That dominant man is not coming for you, right? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you have not done your work, he is not coming for you. And if you get lucky enough to find that man, you're going to do something to push him away, right? He's not going to be interested in staying, because he's going to be interested in finding a woman who's already naturally in her heart able to easily let go of control. She's done all of this work, right? She's already able to be fully submissive and let go of control and be in her heart no matter what. That's her default state. She doesn't need some man to polarize her into it. She's already polarized. That kind of woman can polarize emasculated men into their masculine, right? Now, of course, she's not going to want to be with those emasculated men, probably, but she's capable of doing it. That's the key, right? And I can remember when I first started learning, way before I learned about polarity, but I was learning about, you know, changing myself as a man and becoming, you know, a better leader and everything. You know, there is some women where I could just feel, like looking back, just how masculine they were, and it inhibited me and made me feel more feminine and you know, not interested in leading. And then there is others that were just so open, you know, just fully in their heart, just so submissive, so not trying to control anything, so radiant, so vulnerable, so feminine in every way, that even though I hadn't integrated, like there's so much I hadn't integrated in myself, it was just like, boom, I'm already dominant. Wow, I've barely done any of my work and I'm operating in this much more dominant way. Why? Because she polarized me before I had been able to polarize myself, right? And then as I continued doing this, the more masculine I became, the more I was able to polarize women that weren't able to be access that part of themselves and be more in their feminine, right? So it's going to be the really dominant men that women who are already in their radiance, they're going to be getting, they're going to want those kind of men. And any man who hasn't done a lot of their work, they're not going to be getting those women, right? So I'd say the same advice for men, only in the reverse. And then and for women, it's, you know, dominant men are not going to be interested in you if you haven't done your own work. If you cannot polarize emasculated men, right? If you cannot go on every date and polarize emasculated men into their masculine. I'm not saying every single man, like some are really a piece of work. But you know, like most men, if you can't polarize them into your masculine because you're so much in your heart, once you can polarize pretty much any man into their masculine, because you're so much in your heart, you're so feminine, you're so letting go of control, you just are in a state of acceptance, right? And self-worth as well. Once you're there, you're going to be easily, effortlessly attracting dominant men and inspiring them to devote to you fully, right? It's as simple as that. That's what we help women do. That is what we help women do. They are polarized on their own. They can, polarize men who they're not really in their dominance. They can polarize them much more into their masculine, much more into leading. They can inspire them that way. And then, of course, they're going to be able to effortlessly attract devoted men. Just gonna, they're gonna come out of the woodwork, right? So that's what we help women do. But you've got to, okay, if you've gotten burned by a bunch of programs already, or you're burnt out of the self-improvement hamster wheel, this is different. And for the reasons that I explained earlier in this video, right? I want women who are dead serious about this final, frontier of healing, right? Going all the way into your feminine, fully letting go, being able to polarize the world, polarize men, just because your heart is so out there and so fucking beautiful, right? You can do that. You've just got to be willing to continue doing this work, right? All your other stuff, great. It's got you here. It's got you here. Now you can go much, much further, right? Now you can go much, much further. I want women who are really committed to going all the way here, to being able to effortlessly inspire any man's devotion, right? And who are serious about continuing the work, about scaring themselves, being courageous to go the rest of the way, who are really serious and like that this is your top priority, that you're so serious about it. It's okay. I'm gonna go all the way, whatever it takes, right? Those are the women that are gonna get there. Pretty much every other woman is not, right? Because this is the hardest work that a woman can do. If you're not dead serious about it, you're not dead committed, you're gonna go very slowly or not go anywhere at all. Those women who are serious, I want you to send me a private message. Let's talk. We can talk all about how me and my team can help you really create the relationship of your dreams and effortlessly inspire the devotion of men.